All right, so I was not paying super close attention to the front of this motor, and I thought that this was a stud. It's actually a broken off bolt. What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today we are back on project F-250, and we're putting the last of the motor back together. So hopefully we will finish that today. Take a look right here. It's snowing like crazy outside. So everything's in the garage, which unfortunately means we've got the Audi in and the Mini in, and of course the 250 is in. So a little cramped here in the garage, but we're gonna work around it. So we got, last episode, heads all done. You can see those are beautiful. Oil pan, valve covers, they're all good to go. Now, what we're gonna be working on, come right this way. Right here, we're gonna put new timing chain, new timing gear set, and also we're gonna be putting on a new oil pump, and then we're gonna be putting the motor back together. So the plan is to get this engine completely back together and have it ready to go into the F-250. Now the F-250, as soon as we get the motor done, we are going to be able to work on all this rust, because you see this box right here is all of our new body panels. So those showed up. Haven't opened that up yet, saving that to show you guys. But we got all new panels. Got a new panel for here. We got a new panel for here. Got a new panel for there. And we'll just cut those out. We already got the cab corners, as you remember from the F-150 video. So we'll be getting on those. I believe that Uncle Jake is gonna be stopping by in a couple of weeks to help us on the F-250. So we're gonna get the bed pulled and gonna make some serious progress on the bodywork on this thing. However, before we can do all of that, gotta get this motor ready to go. So let's get going on that. Put you guys up on the time lapse, find some good music for you to listen to, and we'll get going on getting this engine ready to go. Let's get it done. Guys, now here is our brand new timing gear set, new timing chain, new cam gear, new crank gear. So take a look at that. Oh, so nice. All right, let's go ahead and get those on. That's out of the way, and that's gorgeous. Look at this. Fantastic. Look how nice and tight that is compared to the old one. That's awesome. And we got this torqued down, so we're all good to go. Next thing, new oil pump. So let's flip this over and get that in. Check it out, more awesomeness. My boys just got off of work, stopped by, probably Starbucks. Love when that happens. Now we can really get back to work. Let's go. right, guys, it's the next day. Got that new front cover ordered, so that's on its way. We're gonna get back on these valves and get them into the heads. Real quick, let me show you. So we got the valves all lined up here with number 1 and number 2, and then we got the heads back in the right order. I did move them around quite a bit while I was working on them, forgot to mark them. However, I was able to go back through the footage from filming the videos and watch where they went and track them all the way back. So they are back in the correct order, so we don't have to worry about the valves being in the wrong spot. That's very important. The valves are lapped to the head, and if you try to switch them around, they will leak, and this won't work. So I double checked the video like 4 times, and I'm very confident that they are back in the right spot. So a little tip, if you are doing that, be sure to mark your heads with something so that you can tell them apart. And yeah, so now that we've got that though, we know that they're in the right spot. We are going to get back on putting these valves in with their new valve guide seals. All right, let's go. All right, when we were taking this thing apart, we absolutely launched one of the keepers. So I just went down to the basement and pulled one of the valves out of our other set of cylinder heads and got 2 of the keepers off of there. So we will be ordering 2 new keepers to put those back so we can sell those cylinder heads. But for now it means we can put this back together. So let's keep going. Guys, I was just talking to my wife who was asking about how the valves and keepers and everything that I'm working on right now, how they work. So it occurred to me that some of you who are watching may be new to engines. You may not understand exactly how all this stuff works. So if you do, go ahead, skip forward a couple seconds. If you don't, come here, let me show you. So we're going to start with, this is a valve. This happens to be an intake valve, and its job is to let the gases that come in from right here, actually these are exhaust, so they come in from the other side, and this opens up and the gases come in. So let's put this in here, and you can see the valve, come around and look on this side. As the engine's operating, what you're going to see is the valve opening and closing like this as the cam turns around. So that's how it works. The gas and the air mixture comes in, it closes, the combustion cycle goes off, and then goes out the exhaust, and then lets new stuff in. So it goes up and down like that. And then if you flip over to this side, what we're doing is we've got this big spring. This is a valve spring. It goes over here. This plate goes on top of here, and this goes inside there. And then you can see these are all being held into place by these little keepers. So let me show you that. So notice that there's a groove on this, and notice that in these keepers there's a groove as well. So what you do is you set the keeper like that, and they can't move, right? So that gets a nice tight hold on the valve. So the way this works is when this is in the head, this is sitting inside here like this. This goes on there like that, and we're holding that down with the valve spring tool. And then when we let go, this pops back up, and those keepers keep this from being able to come off, hence the term keepers. And then that whole thing's held into place on the end there. And that's how it works. All right, guys, cylinder heads are all done. We are ready to install them onto the engine. Very excited about that. So we're gonna put the head gaskets on, and we gotta find the head gasket, or the head bolts. I think they're in here. And then we'll get both of them on. And yeah, how much closer are you getting this engine done? Let's go. All right, guys, check it out. Cylinder heads are on. That's pretty awesome. We got the bolts all torqued down, followed the Velcro procedure. Everything's looking good. All right, so next thing we got to do now is go ahead and put the valve train back in. So we'll get those wiped down, cleaned up, lubed, blow out the push rods to make sure that they don't have any gunk in them. It's keeping them from being oiled, and put all that together. Then we'll be able to put the valve covers on. All right, let's go. All right, so we got the valve train all installed. Rocker arms are all back on. Everything's ready to go there. Everything's torqued down and good to go. Next thing I want to do is get the front cover on because I want to get the oil pan on, and we got to do the front cover before we do the oil pan. Now, we did salvage the oil or the front cover that came off of it. I thought I damaged it when I was cleaning it, so I ordered a new one. And then when I looked at it again, I realized I hadn't damaged it, but now we already got the new one, so we might as well put it on. I was thinking about keeping it because it's the original 4-part, but then I remembered that that's off of the replacement engine anyway, so it's not like it's the original front cover for this truck. So I think we're just gonna go ahead with the new one. So let's open it up and take a look at it, and then we'll decide. So here is, bought the new one from Rock Auto. Oh, so pretty. Very nice. Yeah, I think we'll go ahead and put this on because it looks beautiful. Pretty cool. And hecho in Mexico. Very nice. All right, let's go ahead and get this installed. All right, so I was not paying super close attention to the front of this motor, and I thought that this was a stud. It's actually a broken off bolt. Don't remember that when we were taking it apart, but we did do 2 of these. So I guess I just missed it when we were taking it apart. Probably used the impact to pull it off and it just snapped. So we got to pull this off so that, because there's no way we're getting that off of there with the front cover on. So let's go ahead and pull that off. Let's go ahead and pull that off, and then we'll be able to put the front cover back on. All right, got it. That's a little bit of heat wouldn't cure. So just used the little propane torch on it, and that was enough to get it hot. Also hit it with a hammer, which does help. I don't know if it's because it shocks everything in alignment or if it just teaches it who's boss. But either way, it came out, so we're good. Let's go. Guys, it has been a couple of days. I have been working away on the intake manifold, and it was dirty, grubby, and nasty, and I had to clean it and clean it and clean it for days. And I didn't want to have to do it, and I know you didn't want to have to watch it, so it's all clean. But take a look, we got it all done. It's all beautiful, and I couldn't get it as clean as I wanted with scrubbing and scraping and power washing and all the rest of the stuff that we did to it. So I finally gave up and painted it. And then we went ahead and clear coated it so it would look really nice. engine is all good to go. We're going to really quickly do we're going to tighten this up and we're going to spin the motor. Make sure that the timing didn't get changed. It shouldn't have. Everything should be totally fine, but I would rather the valves run into the piston while I'm doing everything by hand than after we put it in the 250. So we're going to turn it, and then we're going to put that in, and then that will be, oh, and then we'll put the valve covers on, and then that'll be about it. This engine will be ready to go. How exciting is that? All right, so let's go ahead and spin it around, make sure nothing hits, go from there. All right, guys, that spins around without crashing into anything. That's fantastic. Very cool. All right, we can put the intake manifold on it. All right, guys, that is it. I am so excited. Look how good this looks. It came out so nice. It took so much longer than I thought it was going to. I was out here for days and days and days. Sure would have been easier to just buy all new parts for this thing, but it definitely would not have been as cheap. So again, we're doing a budget build here. So we are, even though it would have been faster to buy new parts, two things. One, it was much cheaper. It was just labor. And two, that means all these parts get to go back in the truck and they get to keep living. So this is actually off the F-150 because the 250's bolts broke off inside that I did not want to have to drill those out. But these are the F-250s. The heads are the F-250s. This is new. This is the F-150s, F-150s. All this stuff gets to keep living. So that's super awesome. It'll go back in the truck. And just like we were talking about, this will be here to inspire us because the whole rest of this truck has now got to look as good as this engine does. So that'll be awesome. All right, guys, that's it. We're going to wrap this up. Like, subscribe, whatever you're into. Really appreciate it. Thanks for all the love and support. Catch you next time.